Hello YouTube and universe, welcome to Scars No Productions. I'm your host Morro, and today we'll be taking a look at some new reveals from CybertronCon 2024. But before we begin, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification so you don't miss another video like this, because it may be a small clip for you guys, but it's a big help for me and the channel. Thank you, and without further ado, let's begin. Now, we'll be taking a look at all the reveals for Age of the Primes that were shown during CybertronCon. And honestly, most of these reveals are amazing. But though I will make the Titan class and Commander class a separate video. So today we'll just be taking a look at the Deluxe class, the Voyager class, the Leader class, and the Space Bridge reveals. Now, starting off in the Deluxe class, we'll have the one I'm least interested in so far. We have Wasp. Now, this is the Transformer animated version, and honestly, even though this is the one I'm least interested in, I'll still get it because the animated Bumblebee mold was my favorite one from Legacy United. And of course, for the accessories, it comes with the same stingers and jetpack, which are pretty cool. But other than that, that's really it for its robot mode. Moving on to the vehicle mode, and yeah, it's the same vehicle mode that the animated Bumblebee had, but green. Yeah, but green. And honestly, I like what they did with it, making the windows tinted purple instead of black. Actually works perfectly for it. And the light bar looks a little better compared to the one that was on the Deluxe Class Bumblebee. All in all, even though this isn't on the top of my priority list, I'm still gonna get it. Now, moving on from Wasp, we have the two aerial bots, starting off with Slingshot. And honestly, Slingshot looks amazing. And if I'm being completely honest here, it kind of reminds me of the Combiner Wars version of him. And I'm okay with that because that was a pretty good transformation for Jets during the time. Now, it seems that he comes with his two blasters, which is pretty cool. And all in all, he looks to be a pretty good figure. And I'm definitely getting this because I really want to get Superion. Now that's it for robot mode. Moving on to vehicle mode, and I'd say it looks pretty good. And honestly, I like the color scheme and all, but I don't know what kind of jet it is, so I don't really know what else to say. It looks pretty good, and I'm happy that I'm going to get this soon since I already pre-ordered it. Now moving on from Slingshot, we have Air Ray, the second aerial bot, and he will be turning into the leg of Superion. And honestly, he looks really good. The black and white goes perfect together, and it's a pretty good jet mode. And he comes with two blasters for his accessories. And all in all, nothing really much to say since I don't really know that much about the aerial bots. Moving on to his vehicle mode, and yeah, black jet, looks pretty cool. Don't know what else to say. Now that's it for our two aerial bots. And we'll be talking about their leader in the next video. Let's move on to the next one, that being the first of the 13 primes, Solus Prime, the Maker. And I have to say, I love how she looks. She looks amazing. And I already knew they were basically going to do the Power of the Primes design, but I wasn't expecting them to revamp it this much and make it actually look good. Now, that's it for the figure itself. For its accessory, of course, it comes with the Forge of Solus Prime, and it looks amazing. Of course, it's based off the Power of the Primes one, just like the actual figure is, but it looks more streamlined, and it has elements of the Forge of Solus Prime from the Covenant of Primus in it, which is pretty cool. Now, that's it for her robot mode. Let's move on to vehicle mode, and it looks pretty good. A futuristic truck. And honestly, yeah, I could see her turning into that. And it kind of would go good alongside Megatronus' tank. So, yeah, I like it. Definitely going to buy this. Now, that's it for all of the Deluxe class figures. Let's move on to the next class, that being Voyager class. And we only have two of them like we have for most other waves. Starting off, we have Armada Universe Red Alert. And honestly, yes, that means our main three Autobots from the first couple episodes of Armada are finally complete. And I'm so happy we're seeing that. Now all we need is Demolisher and Cyclone so we can have all the original 4 Decepticons. Now, back to Red Alert. I have to say, I am really glad we're getting a new version of Armada Red Alert that's actually screen accurate. Because the only other version is the original one. And as you guys know, it's dated because, well, it came out in the 2000s. So getting a new version that's highly articulated and looks as screen accurate as possible is really amazing to me as someone who loved Armada Red Alert, and it's their favorite version of the character. Now, as I said, it is extremely screen accurate, so the sculpt that they use for it looks exactly like how he looked in Armada, well, the show at least, and that is amazing to see. I even like how they made the visor shiny. It just brings character to it, and honestly, I love that about it. Now, that's it for the main figure. Let's move on to his accessories, which were shown. And honestly, he comes with, not a lot of stuff, but enough. Starting off, he has a ton of hand modifications. So you can replace the hand and put either the little incisor he uses to cut stuff, a claw, and another thing, which I don't know what it is, but it looks more accurate to how the toy hand was. Which honestly, that's pretty cool, giving him options for how you like to display him personally. And that can never go wrong when it comes to figures that you love personally, like for me, Red Alert. Sorry, I had to stop myself there from saying you like Red Alert, because I don't know who you like. Now, anyway, that's 3 of the accessories. The 4th one is his blaster that he gets when he power links with his Minicon. And it's more prominently shown in the vehicle mode. Speaking of which, here we have the vehicle mode, and it looks very accurate to the toy and the animation model as well. One thing I love about it is that they use the clear plastic perfectly, and it's cast in red so it can actually look like the light bar that he had in the original toy. Though it can light up, you can shine a light through it, which makes it perfect in my opinion. And all in all, I really love his vehicle mode. Hopefully when I get this, I can find an Armada Optimus Prime so I can have all 3 of the main Autobots together. Now that's it for Red Alert. Let's move on to the final Voyager class figure, that being Prima Prime, the 2nd Prime we're gonna get in this wave. Now honestly, I'd say I'm quite impressed by how he looks. I was expecting something more of the lines of the Align Continuity one, which I can see some inspiration from. But the head sculpt is actually from the original G1 version of Prima that wasn't even Prima to begin with. It was retroactively became him because, fans decided that, apparently. As you can see, I don't know why he was made Prima Prime, but anyway. So, what can I say about this? The color scheme is amazing. Black and white. Well, not really black. It's more of a dark gray. It just blends perfectly together with the little accents of blue just pulling it all together. Honestly, that's a pretty cool choice for what they did. Though the head doesn't really match the body in my opinion, it's still pretty good. Though, as I said, the head's the only thing I would change on this. Now, for accessories, he comes with the Star Saber, which is his prime artifact, which we've seen multiple times in different incarnations of the show. My personal favorite being the Star Saber from Armada, from the 3 Minicons, but this one is based off of the Align Continuity one, which, okay, not as cool as the Armada one in my opinion, but it still looks good. And it can fit the Matrix of Leadership on it, which goes into his 2nd accessory, the Matrix of Leadership, which is the same one we've been getting since Earthrise. I hope sooner or later we get a different Matrix mold. Well, we did with the Laser Optimus Prime, I think, but it wasn't that good in my opinion. I just want a new mold for the Matrix that just is different than the one from Earthrise. Anyway, it can also fit in his chest, which pretty cool. And I kind of like to think of this Matrix as the Matrix before it started rusting, turn it orange. And for my headcanon, that pretty much works since, it's silver here and later on in the future it turns orange. Anyway, that's it for the accessories. Let's move on to the next part, his vehicle mode. Honestly, it's okay. It kind of reminds me of a Tesla Cybertruck, which when someone pointed that out to me, I was dead. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing at it because it looks like if it actually had 6 wheels. But anyway, yeah, I kind of like it, and it makes sense why Prima would be a truck since he's the basis for most other Cybertronians, since he was the first ever Cybertronian created in the lore. And it makes sense why most of the other primes were trucks, like Optimus, Rodimus, and Sentinel Prime, though I don't know if that counts for animated. But all in all, it's the same opinion I have for Prima and Robot Mode. The color scheme looks amazing, and I can't really complain about it. Now that is it for the Voyager class. Let's move on to the next one, that being the leader class. The first one is one we already talked about on the channel, that being the Fallen. I'll link the video that I talked about it in the description down below. But just a little overview of my thoughts, it's the best version of the Fallen we got so far, and you can fight me on that because I'm willing to die on that hill. Anyway, the next leader class we have is a G2 version of Grimlock. Now you might be wondering, didn't we already get a G2 Grimlock with the Toxitron line? Well, you would be correct. Except that was the unreleased version of Grimlock. The released version was a blue one, which is what we will be getting for this leader class. And honestly, it looks pretty good. The dark blue goes well with Grimlock. And with the league listings, this is actually perfect because we're also be getting 2 other G2 Dinobots. But I'll talk about that if we ever do a listings video about it. Now, of course, it is a blue Grimlock, so that means it's a blue dinosaur as well. Can't make a reference because I don't know any blue dinosaurs, honestly. But it does come with something extra, that being a wheelie that's based off his original G1 toy colors. Pretty cool, though I wish it was a core class version of wheelie, because that's the better one. But hey, this was already in the mold, so I'll accept that. Either way, I'm still going to be sticking to the comic book version I recently got because that's the best version of Grimlock in my opinion. Now that's it for the physical figures that we know about. Let's move on to the next thing, that being the Space Bridge. Starting off with the Deluxe class, we have a package refresh of the Velocitron Speedia 500 Crasher. And honestly, I had the chance to get one when it first came out and I decided to skip it. And I regretted that to this day. So seeing it now getting a reissue, yeah, I'm definitely getting it. No questions asked. Since beforehand, I never experienced the Mirage mold from Siege. Well, Kingdom to be exact. And now that I have like the lime green and pink Mirage, I love it. And knowing I kind of got Crasher is the one thing that's been tearing me down. So, seeing this get a re-release, yeah, I'm definitely getting it. Now, moving on, the next deluxe class figure we have is Vortex. Now, this was shocking to me because the listings only told of Swindle being in it. Well, the listings I saw, I don't know if there was an updated version of them recently. But seeing Vortex, yes, I'm glad we're getting that. That means we're going to get more Combaticons in the line. Yes! I need a new Bruticus since I never got the Combiner Wars one. Oh, this is perfect. And we're also getting Swindle in Age of the Primes. Peak. Hasbro, you did your thing. Thank you. Oh, sorry about that outburst. As you can see, I got excited by that because Vortex is one of my favorite Combaticons. Mainly because of the IDW depiction. He was a little gremlin and I loved it. Now, those were the 2 that were shown for the Lux class. Let's move up to the Voyager class. And the first one is the greatest shark in town, the greatest shark around. Skybite, that's him. Oh, you don't know how long I've been waiting for this. Woo! I love Skybite. He's one of my favorite characters. Honestly, one of the best characters from RID 2001. And I hope they do him justice with this because the Thrilling 30s version one was good, but when you turn into to beast mode, he was just a static brick. Hopefully, you're able to move him around in shark mode this time around. Now, that's just my hopes. Moving on to the next one, we have Rescue by Universe Heatwave. And yes, I already got the Chase. Now Heatwave, all we need is Blades and Boulder. Maybe even Scavenge and Blur. Well, the Rescue Bots version. And we'll have the full team. And that'll be perfect. But anyway, I like how this Heatwave looks. It seems to be a remold of Bulkhead. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I love the Bulkhead figure. And man, as you can see, I already got it twice. Well, one of them is Breakdown though. And honestly, the mold is one of the best ones we got from Legacy, in my opinion. So getting it with Heatwave, I'm fine with that. Also, the Energon weapons, yes. Oh, that's perfect. Anyway, moving on to the last thing, we have Onyx Prime going along with the rest of the 13. And honestly, yeah, he looks pretty good. Even though traditionally those aren't Onyx Prime's colors, I still think they look good. It makes him more bestial, in my opinion. Because, he's supposed to be the first Transformer with a beast mode. So it works out perfectly, in my opinion. Though it seems like he doesn't come with the triptych mask. But he does come with some kind of spear, so maybe that's his weapon? Maybe. But hey, one thing I can say, I'm putting this on my Shockwave shelf because he is Shockwave in IDW. You can't tell me otherwise where to put it. That is going on the Shockwave shelf right next to Siege and the Core class figures. I don't have the Bumblebee movie one. Anyway, that's it for everything that was shown in the video that basically was our space bridge. Hopefully we get to see more of the wave as the months continue, but since wave 1 was just revealed, I don't think that will be coming anytime soon. But other than that, that's really it for the video, guys. And as I said, I will be talking about the Commander class and the Titan class in the next video, so it can have its own little segment. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. And tell me in the comments down below, who are you most likely to get out of all these figures that I've shown today? Are you going to go with the aerial bots so you can try to complete the Superion? Or go with the 13 primes as you make a new shelf in your collection? Now, if that's everything, that's a wrap. Fade to black.